He was born in the brightness. Hi guys, welcome back to the Heel Podcast. We are back with our... No, we're not, because I haven't got my headphones on. Hi guys, welcome back to the Heel Podcast. We are back... Did you say cum sluts? We are back with our Summerslam Podcast. I am running with this one now. That was take 3. We are not doing another take. So we are
to say hello.
We are in July. We are nearly at Clash at the Castle.
5 weeks yesterday.
You can't. To be fair, Titch is a lot nearer than us.
I'm so excited, guys. I am so freaking excited for Clash. It's a big one for me.
But
5 weeks yesterday.
Well, I mean, we're here.
It's going quick.
We're here to talk about what's happening in the next month. Well, I'm sure we'll cover what's coming up later on. We're gonna have a busy
The wrong way
weekend.
around, but yeah.
Suck your mum. But yeah. So, first things that's happened in the last months in WWE. Then, Vince has
a quiet one.
He's been a naughty boy.
It's been a quiet month. Well,
let's not go into that.
I don't think we're going to go into that
Talk about the
we don't
important bit.
we don't think we need to talk about that because
It's just like, what else has Vince done?
he's just retired.
He's retired.
We'll just leave it at that. We're not going to talk about.
Why?
Yeah,
we won't go into the
or
why.
speculated reasons.
Yeah, we're not going to catch a case ourselves. I think that's a bad plan.
Yeah.
Vince is retired anyway, guys.
Yay.
Opinions, thoughts.
I think it's a plot. He just doesn't want to come to Cardiff, and then as soon as Clash of the Castle's over and they're back in America, he'll be like, "I'm back, bitches."
Fuck Wales.
I actually like that. That might be my favourite theory about why Vince hasn't.
We're going where?
I mean, in all honesty,
theory
of
of all places in the United Kingdom, you're taking me to Wales? No chance in hell.
He would have been partially responsible for booking it. He had the choice of Wales or England.
So what we're saying is
He chose money.
he knew he was retiring. So on his way out, he was like, "Fuck y'all! You're going to Wales. I am not."
I'm going for a holiday in the Bahamas. You lot have fun in a cold,
They're
cold, wet fucking Wales.
They're like, who
Yeah,
did this? And he was like,
And then
it
fuck
was
off.
me.
Come on.
It was me all along.
Good boy. Now go away. Go on.
Hi, dog.
Well, lie down.
Dog has made an appearance.
Sorry,
Doggo.
everybody.
So I think this is something we've discussed recently on the streams, or last night I suppose it was. I think we are the general consensus at the minute that short term it's not going to make a massive difference.
I think it was needed, though.
No, I don't subscribe to that. I don't subscribe to that at all. I think blaming Vince for everything that's ever happened is such an easy cop out, and everybody does it.
No.
I hate it.
I'm not blaming him, but I don't know if people would agree with me. The product is feeling a little stale.
This is what I was going to say. I got very
Right.
bored recently.
Yeah, the product's feeling a little stale. So having a new approach, a new perspective, some new ideas.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna freshen the product up. It's gonna reignite people's interest.
Got a quick question for you, Titch, though. What happens when these new ideas they go stale for you? Are you just going to be then
Then
like,
again,
oh right,
look-
Triple H and Stephanie have got to go. We
Yeah,
need
but-
Shane in now because Shane will have the fresh ideas.
No,
oh,
no,
but
I
wait,
completely
Shane's
understand what
now
you're saying.
stale, so we need Shane to go, and it's got to be Carl down.
I get what you're saying.
Like because Triple H has been put in charge of creative, haven't he?
Well, he's taking
Look
on.
what he did
He's
with
taking on the role.
NXT. Yeah, look what he did with NXT. He made it freaking phenomenal. The guy knows the business. He knows what he's doing. I trust him.
All I'm gonna say about NXT is when Triple H was there, they were losing the ratings to AEW. That's
Right.
They were, and they were
That's all
also
I'm gonna
losing.
say.
They were also losing money. Like
Exactly.
NXT
So-
wasn't making money.
I don't want to go
As good
into
as
too
that-
much into
As
last
good as
night.
NXT was,
Cool.
as good as NXT was, I loved NXT when Adam Cole and all that was there,
Mm.
you know,
I don't want to go.
It didn't draw as much.
I don't want to go into last night, but last night was a big decider for me whether it was going to make any difference at all or not. And we'll talk about it later, but I think it got a bit more creative than what we've seen in a long time.
Well,
right, so
there was a definite wave, the sort of very steady wave of change, it seemed to be last night.
Yes.
I do agree. There was like a blanket across.
Let me put this across to you, yeah, because we've had shake-ups before in the past when we typically got the drafts, when the drafts got scrapped and we went into like new generations. We had new management teams as such come on screen, and we've had different matches come from that. When we had the women's revolution and we had Charlotte, Becky, and all the rest of it come to the main roster, we've had these shake-ups. We've had these big moments in wrestling that have changed the landscape in wrestling. Yeah. This is that.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It needed something. It needed something. It didn't matter if it's Vince.
But the thing is, that isn't because of Vince. This is just because they've gone. Vince is gone now. Why don't we now use this as a moment to have that?
That's what I'm saying.
Because there was a team behind it. And yes, Vince was where the book stopped. The same as now Triple H is now where the book stops. Yeah. And you guarantee Triple H has still got that phone call to Vince whenever he needs a bit of a hand. Exactly. So Vince will still be.
I'm not saying it's changed because Vince is gone. I'm saying that something needed to happen. If it meant Vince going to cause that shake-up, it needed that shake-up.
Mm-hmm.
It needed something. It needed something to happen. Even if Vince
had
done the shake-up there.
In my opinion, the last shake-up we had that was of significance was when we had Heyman team up with Roman. That was, in my opinion, the last big shake-up we had for the company. Was when Roman went tribal chief and had Heyman join him.
I wouldn't say that was a shock.
I wouldn't say that was a shock. That wasn't a compliment.
It wasn't a shock. It was a
change. That was one story that changed. But I wouldn't say that was
it changed the company completely, to be fair, because no one else come close to Roman, and that's why, I don't know, maybe a part of it's gone stale, because you ended up with Roman and Brock at the top, nobody else behind them really.
No one else can really step up.
The Usos and Street Profits are the only two that are really carrying the tags really at the minute. We might end up with a few more obviously coming up soon, which would be nice.
I think that's where the problem lies, though, isn't it? It's they weren't building the next set of stars. They were concentrating on what they've got.
Yeah, I think they definitely backed themselves into a corner.
I'll always be baffled why they didn't bring up the other guy from Imperium and hadn't put them into the tag division.
Fabian Wagner.
It baffles me. And then he's got his own name on NXT and he's having matches on 2.0. And I'm just like, why has he not gone up with Mark?
I think somebody backstage obviously doesn't rate him. I suppose
didn't rate him. Yeah,
I rate him. But
I'm not being funny. You're Beyblade. You're not a WWE official, mate. There's a big difference.
He was fantastic.
You don't know who I know.
Before he went into the thing, but
if they did, you should have won. If you know people inside, you don't want predictions last time.
All right, shut up, Pete. Shut up.
But yeah, it's definitely going to be
for NXT.
It's definitely going to be a good shake-up for the company. I think that it's just.
I really want Vince to be involved still. Even for the phone call, just to assist them, because the end of the day, he come up with some amazing ideas.
Yeah.
Just to freshen things up would be okay.
The thing is,
I think the only real negative thing. Sorry, Dan.
It's whatever company you've got. If you stay with it being the same product over and over again, whether that you be selling fucking bath salts, be selling ladders, I don't know. If you're selling the same stuff over and over again, it does become a bit boring and stale. Like, you need to freshen up with something.
Meth.
With something. Well, exactly. You got to put something else in your meth.
Business,
you got to put a bit of chili or something in your meth. You know, that's what they do. You give yourself a USP, and the USP had gone because it becomes stale. There was no unique selling point for WWE at that point because it just went stale. So
it should be blue.
What? Blue meth. I've heard it's good.
I think that one of the main concerning things for me about Vince leaving is just Theory. Because it was like, Theory was built as like Vince's personal protege, and I'm just like...
The thing is, they would have all come to an agreement on that. It wouldn't just be Vince. They all knew how good
I have a theory about Theory.
I still feel like he needs... I feel like he needs a guy to just like give him the push, you know what I mean?
I have a theory about Theory. That Theory, obviously... We'll talk about where he is later on, I suppose. But I've got a feeling we might see... You know, Theory was...
Got a theory about Theory.
Where Theory was Vince's protege. I could quite easily see Ciampa becoming Trips' protege, and we could end up with a little feud between them two. Ciampa's gonna be pushed, isn't he? There is no way that Ciampa's gonna be sat doing nothing now that Trips is involved.
I think it's very clear we're gonna. Well, we'll get to that later. Actually,
it's hard to not step on the things. So in which case, should we jump onto SummerSlam now then, and then we can jump back and forth if we need to.
Just 1 second, just so that everyone knows why Phil isn't here right now.
He's at a Man U game.
Yeah, he's at a game with his daughter, having a very good time.
Yes,
Phil.
Up the Reds.
You suck. Yeah, you can shut up as well. Somebody's bullying you on TikTok about being a classic Man U fan. To be fair today, mate. So sucks to be you.
I kept getting notifications on my TikTok saying, "Oh, you've got over 200 likes on this video that's your name's been mentioned on." And I'm like, "What?"
Yeah, I tagged you.
Good vibes, nice.
Very nice of him.
Take that.
Very good, very nice.
Bianca Belair,
likes that
Becky Lynch started off the show last night. We had a pre-show. The pre-show again didn't have.
Titch had a bit of a pre-show.
Yeah, Titch just didn't turn up. We asked her to turn up at 11:30.
Yeah,
a couple of people were there at 20 to 12. Fine, fair enough. Bit 10 minutes late. Titch was an hour and 45 minutes late. No, an hour and 20 minutes late.
Despite having hourly reminders for 4 hours before it started.
Golden Glory, come on, boys. You know Golden Glory.
I'm pretty sure I made history that night, being not just on time, but 15 minutes early. I think that's a world record.
Hang on a minute. I was on time today.
Titch, I've got to be honest.
Technically, we were all earlier today, so
my internet cut out. I was booted out to reset my whole router, and I was back before you was.
I literally
with about 45 minutes to spare as well, Pete.
I jumped over as we finished selling.
Yeah.
Anyway, we then went into the main show. Bianca Belair versus Becky Lynch opened. Boys, and I know we had it on our TikTok. Well, boys, lads, should we say lads and ladettes as we did last night? Lads and ladettes.
It was.
We have had a bit of abuse for being very underwhelmed with our reactions because this match was shit. This match was very shit.
Oh no!
It was.
I don't want I like
we've
Bianca
had
and I like Becky, but we've had Bianca and Becky too many times. Too many times.
It's becoming the Brock Roman, but without
without the goodness.
Yeah, like. We've seen them like it's one of those cases like all right then, and this is why obviously what happened after the match happened.
I'm quite happy
now
we
can move on.
Yeah.
I'll be completely honest. It was a good match. I just didn't. Yeah, no, I think we was all still.
It was shit for us.
We was just too excited, ready for the whole night, and getting ourselves set up and just yeah.
It was not what we were after for the opening match. Let's be honest.
I guarantee I'm going to enjoy it more after what happened at the end, though.
But yeah, we had
steady on, Pete. Calm down.
Bianca won against Becky. Quite a clean finish. They shook hands. They hugged, and then the hugger came out. The former hugger came out, and so Bayley made her return, which was. I mean, somewhat expected. I said to us,
Bayley was probably the only person we thought was going to turn down.
Yeah,
the only one we thought was going to.
But I was telling you during the pre-show to don't lower your expectations because then if she doesn't turn up, it's not WWE's fault. Yeah. That's your fault for getting your expectations up.
I thought The Rock was going to come back.
And he might have done. We haven't got that far yet.
No, to see Bianca.
Oh, right.
Yeah, to save Bianca, I thought The Rock was...
There was more chance of Montez coming out, but yes, okay. Why would
I reckon storyline should have been having
he might want to rumble and take their face off. Cause it is about drive and power.
Anyway. It's about drive, it's about power. We stay humble. Is that, I guess? Hungry.
We devour. Put in the work.
Put in the hours. And then Dakota Kai and Io Shirai turn up, which was a shock.
Pancakes.
That was a shock.
That's going to be... Well, obviously, Dakota had been released.
Yeah. Well,
so I think that was the first one that splashed the cash.
Dakota wasn't under contract, and...
Io Shirai was going to go.
Io Shirai was on her way out. Io Shirai, by the way, has changed her name. They didn't change it on the Titantron last night, but they've changed her name. So it's now Io spelt with a Y, and it's Io Sky now, not Io Shirai.
Hang on, how EO spelled with a Y? Hang on, how are you spelling it?
As in
like
Neo.
Eeyore, I guess. EYO, I would imagine.
I don't know Winnie the Pooh involved in wrestling.
EO rather than EO. Okay, EO Shirai.
Well, I mean, it was IO, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But,
so yeah,
yeah
no. As I say it, I'm saying it how you say it. So yeah, rather than EO, it's EO. Okay, fine. I can live with that. That's not the worst. That's not the worst. But exciting. The fact that we've got Bailey, Io Shirai, and
it's not Shirai either.
Oh, it's not Shirai.
Sky.
Oh, Sky.
It's going to be a good little stable.
Every time you say that, though, Dan, he's going to correct you.
They've taken that from because she was Genius of the Sky. That was her nickname anyway, wasn't it? It was the Genius of the Sky.
Right.
Io Shirai. So now it's just Io Sky, the Genius, I guess.
It's going to be a good stable.
It's going to be a good faction. It's going to be a good faction. Bailey.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Io.
I don't think it'll last that long.
I don't know. The one thing that they were missing was a mouthpiece, and what better mouthpiece could you have than the Bailey at the minute?
You could chuck Dakota and Io. maybe that's into the women's tag team division for you for the main roster. So it just gives the division a bit, maybe.
I'll be honest. I think that's died, hasn't it? Like
I wouldn't
be surprised if we lose that in the next 6 months.
Lose what? Sorry,
the women's
tags.
Oh yeah, I don't think that's good.
Tag division.
I think Triple H has clearly noticed that the women's division's dead, and he wants to do something about it. So I think the way to actually deal with that is remove one of the titles, which is obviously the tags, and then build it all back up again, and then maybe be like, oh yeah, there they go to, I don't know, they could go to like a janitor's cupboard or something. And be like, oh, do you remember these that we used to have?
I know the women's division. I know you said that Triple H has made that.
It might not be necessarily Triple H, yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me at all if it's Steph.
Yeah.
Like, she's got a lot more power now and way more say. So.
Flood the women's division with stars, and then if there is too many, start bringing back the tag badges. Needed now.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, they even got rid of the women's tag belts in NXT, didn't they? So I don't think they're going to bring them back.
They haven't got rid of them. There's a match for them actually for the next NXT. I swear. That's what they were showing off last night when they did like a little NXT trailer.
Okay.
Are they bringing them back? Because I know they got thrown in the bin not that long ago. Because obviously,
there was 4 women's teams and they're all competing for the tag belts. I swear. What's
the name? What's the little skater girl's name? I can't remember her name.
I know who you're on about.
Yeah, I know
who you're on about. Just can't remember.
Cora.
Yeah, Jade.
Cora Jade. I kept wanting to say Jade Cargill, but obviously that's definitely not her.
Wrong company, my friend. Wrong company.
It was her and whoever her tag team partner was at the moment. They won the belts from
just turned heel, didn't she?
And then she turned heel.
Yeah. But there's definitely a match for them. There's definitely a match for them.
Okay.
There's a 4-way tag team match. They literally announced it on SummerSlam.
Okay, fair enough.
So maybe they'll find a use for it then eventually then, and for the main women's roster one anyway, and then. But I think they've got to prioritise getting the division sorted on each company because they are all over the shop. And like I say, if I say in this podcast Triple H is trying to sort it out, I am assuming like it. I'm including like Triple H and Steph are obviously leading it. If I'm saying Triple H, I'm just assume I'm on about the team.
He's just still in that mindset that it's all about the game.
And how you play it.
I actually have some news as well before we move forward. So do you know on the show how we keep getting these promo packages for like Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins and other people who aren't even on the show?
We did go on
right. So they're being shown. It's not just because obviously they're moving things around in the arena. Because normally when they do that, they show something backstage, don't they? Do like a little backstage interview or segment or something. Right, so the reason they're doing that is because the new system with Peacock now has a tiered subscription system. And the lowest tier get adverts.
Okay.
So they show that while the Peacock viewers get adverts.
Fair enough.
Bloody subscription.
Which is fucking shit, because it means basically we get adverts, despite the fact we're still paying the full whack.
Speaking of subscription systems, if you haven't subscribed to the Hill Project already, make sure you do that.
I mean, fair play. Fair play.
What you said. Yeah.
Fair play. Second match up though. Probably my second favourite match of the night, I reckon. Logan Paul versus The Miz. And I've done a hot take on him a few weeks ago, and I fucking stand by everything I've said.
Did we ever find out what was in that card the Miz was holding?
It was a picture of him.
Yeah, it was a picture of him.
It was like a wrestling card, Miz.
But it looked like he was a snooker player, which was pointed out by Bush last night, which made me laugh.
I think it was the moment that he hit the skull-crushing finale on Logan.
No, he was in a suit. Unless he's hit one on him when he was in a suit.
Yeah. He's hit it since. Yeah.
Right, okay, because it looked like he was wearing a suit in that.
I'm starting to think that Logan is my favourite celebrity moment in WWE.
I prefer Logan.
I think he might be.
I prefer Logan. So I'm sorry. You know how much I love Pat, but yeah, Logan. Yeah. Logan is. I don't know.
Technically, Logan is better, but for the
can we stop calling Logan a celebrity? He has a WWE contract. He is a superstar now. He's not just a celebrity coming on for the one show appearance. He is a superstar, signed a contract.
I know you're taking the piss there, but you are absolutely banging on right.
No, I'm not. I'm genuinely not taking the piss. He's an actual superstar. He's not just.
But no, as coming as a celebrity spot, which he did first of all, I think he's been my favourite person that's come in.
Yeah, I can't think of anyone near it. Like,
Pat for me, but
close.
Pat, but
for me, it's Logan. Yeah, anytime.
Yeah, but you said you can't think of anyone near it.
I think it's Pat more for the entertainment value.
I don't know.
Practical abilities.
I don't know.
If we're going off SummerSlam performances,
Johnny fucking
last
Knoxville.
night,
if you want entertainment, Johnny fucking Knoxville.
Yeah.
Because that match was brilliant.
If we're going off just SummerSlam performances, are you really going to say that Pat McAfee had a better match last night?
I don't think that Logan had the best match last night either.
No, not the best match. The better of the two of them is what he's asking.
I think Logan's still impressing people. That's the thing. Pat's been around, had a few matches now. Logan, people are still shocked. He's had 4 matches now.
He's had one with Adam.
Come on, you can't count the Vince one.
He had 2.
He's technically had 4. He's technically had 4. He's technically had 4 now.
He had 2 with Pat.
It does count.
Adam Cole.
You can't count it as like a proper match.
He had the War Games. He had the War Games.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that one. Okay, yeah.
He had the War Games match. And the one-on-one with Adam Cole.
I forgot the War Games one, okay.
Did have the War Games.
Yeah, I forgot that. So okay, there's 5 matches he's had then.
Yeah, so we've seen him around. So I think the novelty's gone. I think he's impressed people, but it's kind of the new person's come in, and then that's that. I'd love to see a match between the two of them at one point, but
I love that.
But
what do you think they're going to do next?
Anyway, we'll get to Pat. Let's stop.
Just to bring it back to Logan.
Yeah,
a little bit of news for the Logan match. It overran by over 10 minutes.
Oh.
Which is why the match later on, I'll tell you later on.
How
later on which match suffered because of it.
How did it overrun by 10 minutes though?
Maybe they let it carry on. It was that good. Maybe they let it carry on.
Well, they can't exactly sell them to. I mean, once they're out there,
wrap it up, boys.
Yeah, once they're out there, they're out there. It's like you can't.
They do kind of get them to wrap it up if they've let them carry on.
Yeah, I mean, it was worth it. The frog splash was great. We all were a bit confused as to why he was removing the.
I think he just did it just to chuck it at Maurice because that was pretty.
No,
cool.
I think he was doing it because he's probably practiced doing something similar before, and he maybe slipped on the thing before. And they've told him to just start, because the metal's probably better against his boots than what the obviously what the bit of fabric is.
Well, so, hey, it worked, and he did a great frog splash through that.
It was very good. It was very good. And he looked great.
Just gonna say, it wasn't a frog splash. It was just a splash.
Wasn't it a frog splash?
He did a frog splash. It looked like a frog splash. He did the whole thing.
No.
Yeah, I think it was just
I have to rewatch it now because I'm sure. I'm fully sure.
He didn't go back in. It wasn't from.
I'm fully sure it did.
Normal slash.
Okay. Then I'll stand corrected if I am wrong. But yeah, it was still
some distance.
Great distance. We saw a cracking moonsault as well.
The moonsault was very impressive off the apron.
Standing moonsault off the apron.
Yeah, didn't even springboard and do the old Sabu special.
Mm-hmm.
Did anyone else notice there was a lot of like just standing moonsaults onto the person tonight on SummerSlam last night?
I honestly hadn't.
Quite a few.
They're all trying to be me.
Bianca did a few on Becky. You obviously had Logan did a couple.
But Link can do a backflip.
Montez did some as well.
One more thing I want to talk about that match though as well was obviously there was lots of talent at ringside.
Lots of talent.
Lots of talent. But also Ciampa refused to leave the ring.
Yeah, he got refused to
leave the arena.
And
then AJ came in and helped. So are we going to get AJ versus Ciampa first? Before, like I said, obviously I said Ciampa versus Theory at some point.
We're gonna get a tag match there, aren't we?
Yeah, I'm guessing it's going to be AJ, Logan, Miz,
Clash.
Ciampa. A clash.
Possibly.
I reckon Clash.
I mean, it's a stadium show. It's a stadium show that's going to be bigger than the stadium show we have last night, which is mental.
You've got a 5-week build.
The thing is, Logan will get a hell of a pop over here now.
Yes, he will. Yeah. That's the thing.
Especially when he signed a sponsorship deal with Prime.
What?
We're obviously Pat.
Well, we don't think Pat's coming there, are we? Because he's got other engagements. So
yeah, that was what was said a while back now.
But anyway, I really enjoyed that match. Probably my second favourite match overall was on the night, to be fair. Anything else to add on that one?
No.
Right.
It was good.
We're going to kind of skip this one a little bit.
That's great.
She did have great tips. Yeah, she gave me great advice.
Yeah, the advice she gave to Miz last night was fantastic.
Bobby Lashley then defeated Theory to retain his United States Championship. It only went 4 minutes. I'll be honest.
You didn't see the end, did you?
Didn't watch a single second of it, really. I was editing, and then we had a hype train on Twitch, and then I was
didn't
like,
actually see what the finish was. I got distracted by talking to you.
You tapped out.
Yeah, it was
all I saw was him going to do like his springboard dropkick thing that he does. And I was just like, and that was the last thing I saw of the match. And then, like, because I turned away, spoke to you guys, and then I looked and I was like, oh, Bobby's got the belt. Bobby won.
Dan had a cammy moment because I was like, and it's over. And Dan was like, what? Where? What happened? I didn't see a thing. Dan was quite shocked.
Yeah, there was
Jeff.
Twitch kind of took over for us at that point for a little while. It was quite cool. We had a really good stream last night. Thank you to everyone that joined us.
Yeah, I think that's probably a better time to say that it was a great stream we had last night. Our viewership numbers were great. We had some really good people coming in chat. Ben didn't make an appearance with his friends last night, which was nice. Thank you, and your mum, Ben.
A nice few first-time chatters as well last night.
Yeah.
None of them were Ben.
Yeah.
No.
Good to see our...
Ben
also
on
had
alternate
a
accounts.
There was also a hype train last night.
Alternate accounts exist. We all know this.
Yeah. But thank you for last night, everyone, including Beyblade and Titch. Thank you.
And Ben, if he was lurking. Cheers, Ben.
We love you, really.
I love his mum more, though. The Mysterios versus Judgment Day was on following this match in a no DQ.
We did have the promo before this, though, didn't we? Edge promo.
We did.
That kind of spoiled something.
I don't know. Why did that happen?
We all knew it was Edge.
No, that's not the problem. That wasn't the problem, Beyblade. That wasn't the problem. So at some point, I can't remember which match it was between, or if it was maybe even in the pre-show, but it come up saying, "I am coming." Although Link kept on telling me,
that was on the main show. I think
he said he went.
I think it was after one of the matches.
It was in the pre-show.
Okay, but
Definitely
Link kept on saying, it's
literally just
coming in blood,
us.
and I'm like, no, it's not. I'm saying it says, "I am coming," written in blood.
And
then it's not saying, "I am coming in blood."
But then they added the words underneath tonight, and it was like, "Oh, great! Now we know this is definitely happening."
Why ruin it?
We knew it, but
you're ruining it. Read my lips. You're ruining it.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, that promo as well. Like you saw Edge in it. Like Edge was in the promo himself, walking around. It wasn't like they didn't have so much shadow. It was obvious who it was.
Yeah. So I mean,
it didn't upset me. It didn't upset me.
We knew where he was coming, and
yeah.
But at the same time, everyone, like, would you actually? I'm not fussed. I'm not fussed that this was super predictable, this match, because I'm not fussed about Mysterious versus Judgment Day. Full stop. I'm not particularly fussed about the Mysterious. I don't get me wrong. I still kind of like Ray because he's a bit of a hero in his own right, isn't he?
I haven't cared about anything Ray's done since he won the world title, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but
I wish that didn't happen.
For me, this whole match was what Edge is going to get up to.
Yeah, and obviously Rhea's return could have and should have happened last night, in my opinion. We should have had a Rhea and an Edge return, but there we are.
That wouldn't have made sense though, because Edge isn't coming back to attack
Edge couldn't have done anything to her.
No, but we could have had, because it was a no DQ. We could have had Rhea come in first to interfere and attack, and she could have done something to Dominic in that match.
We all had our theories last night of what's going to happen with that rivalry. I think a couple of you said that it's going to go in separate ways, and it's going to be like Edge, Balor, and like the Mysterios go elsewhere. I'm not convinced they're going to go their separate ways. I think the Judgment Day are going to get its third male member, and then there's going to be a 6-man tag.
I think if they go, I think what we were more likely to see happen is Dominic's going to get pushed to the sideline because Edge is going to team with Ray. We're going to get Edge and Ray teaming up to take on the Judgment Day of Balor and Priest. And then Dominic's going to get the hump because he's not in the match and has been pushed to one side and he's going to turn on his dad and join the Judgment Day. And that's how that's going to be.
You know what my issue is with Dominic turning heel? You just like, we've all just been like, I swear every pay-per-view we're just like, can Dominic just please turn on him already? Please, Dominic, just turn. Dominic, just turn, please. But it's like, I'm getting to the point where I'm just like, I'm starting to believe that it's never going to happen, and he's just to be babyface. Oh, sorry, I can't say that.
He's too big, like physically too big, to be a babyface in the same vein as his dad is.
Because Rey Mysterio is like always the ultimate underdog. In any match Rey Mysterio goes into, he's still classified as an underdog.
Yeah, because
Dominic
of his size.
Mysterio can't be classified always as the like if he's facing someone like a Brock Lesnar, of course he's going to be the fucking underdog. He's the victim. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Honestly, for me,
facing like some random guy from NXT, he's most likely like this. Dominic should be winning this match by a landmile.
I think you're gonna get that turn. Ray's last match will be at Mania against Dominic, and I reckon you'll see Dominic in NXT after that. I don't think he'll be around the main roster.
Wow.
I don't think he'll be around the main roster.
I don't think they're gonna push him down. I don't think
there's enough character in him to be around the main roster.
So you think you're gonna get Rey Mysterio retirement? Maybe possibly a handover of the mask, etc. to Dominic.
It won't be a drop
and then Dominic
down
just get fucked off.
No, I don't think Dominic's going to stick it. Without his dad, Dominic wouldn't be in the company now. He's not enough charisma.
He wouldn't be in WWE. He'd be in NXT. No. I agree with you on that.
And without his dad, I think he's going to end up there.
I don't think he's going to go. I don't think they'll push him down. They'll keep him up, and then they'll just give him someone new. It's what they've done since the dawn of time, mate. When someone's lost their partner, they just give them someone new. You know what I mean? Yeah. When Chad Gable lost Jason Jordan, they were just like, oh, give him Shelton Benjamin. Oh, did that not work? All right, give him Robert Roode.
But the thing is,
then give him Otis.
He can carry people. I don't think Dominic can.
Can I think we should
Dominic
request
to join
a change.
Chad Gable and the Alpha Academy. They're going to go around shooshing everyone.
Could we have Dominic Mysterio just be traded for Bron Breakker, please?
I'll say that.
That'd be good.
Yeah, I think something like that's going to happen.
Like Dom would be fine. Like if he was in Ryan with the title picture.
You think that's going to happen?
No. That's why I said
that would be bold.
That's why I think he'll.
I'm sorry.
He's not good enough. You've got much better people on NXT.
They won't push him down. They won't push him down.
The only way
Ray's influence is keeping him up on that main roster for life.
But I don't think Ray's not going to be there for life.
He'll probably go down for a
Dominic's been in the company for 3 years at this point already. He ain't going down.
Yeah,
he's not. If they were gonna go down, they would have done it when he first came in, or like halfway through.
Mind you, you're saying he wouldn't go down. We literally had Dolph not long ago being champion down there. So fuck knows. Who knows? Who knows?
Let's be honest. How many NXTs did he actually end up doing on and actually competing on? Not many.
He's still former world champion, mate. That went down to NXT. Yeah. He's still one of the highest paid people. Still to this day, one of the highest paid people in the company.
True, but do you really think they're going to push Dominic Mysterio down there just to face Bron Breakker and beat him for the world title? For me, I don't.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying necessarily he'll face Bron Breakker, but I could easily see Bron Breakker coming up, and if Dominic was in the title picture in NXT, it would make more sense than where he is now, in my opinion.
I mean, I agree with you. I think he should. I always thought that he should be in NXT. He should always have gone to NXT. But we just know that he's never going to be down there.
He won't because he's Mysterio. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a Mysterio. They're not going to push a Mysterio down. They're going to push him to the moon or try to.
I don't think
to the moon.
Cameron Grimes teaming with Cameron.
Edge. Should we talk about Edge?
Move on. Yeah.
So Edge came back anyway, and he's now a rated R superstar. Now he
looks good.
He has Gangrel's glasses.
I want
it.
Yeah, he has Gangrel's glasses on though. It was.
I need long hair, Edge.
I do like Gangrel's glasses.
I just need long hair, Edge. I just can't.
I do agree. I'm not a fan of short hair Edge.
I just need long hair, Edge. Like
we said last night. It's the best he's looked in a long.
Well, it looks like he's eaten something recently. This is the problem. He
doesn't look gaunt.
I'm not offending. I'm not calling anybody out. But he looked like a homeless person before.
He looked like a vegan. I don't care about homeless people or offending people. He looked like a vegan.
He looked ill.
He looked like he forgot how to eat.
He looked ill.
He looked like he needed a good burger or two.
He looks like he had an eating disorder. I'm sorry.
It looks like he could go again.
He does. Rather than like he's going to be snapped in half when he does his own spear.
He can take a bump again.
I could see him against Priest, not without feeling bad now, because before I'd look at that and be like, really?
Who's
but
now,
now
who are you saying winning that, Priest or Edge?
Edge all day. But we'll do that for another prediction, shall we? On another day.
One of my personal rules is never bet against Edge.
That's the opposite for me. I always bet against Edge.
And that's why you always lose.
That's not true. That's not true because since Edge made his big return, how many pay-per-view matches has he actually won?
A few,
yeah. Well, he's probably about even, I'd say.
Well, I remember he lost to Roman at Mania. He obviously won the Rumble.
He beat Randy.
He won the greatest wrestling match ever.
Oh God.
Pete,
oh God. Why did you have to remind us of that? But I mean, what do we think Edge is going to be doing now? Well, is he going to be competing with Judgment Day to just beat them, and then where would he go?
Oh yeah, he's going to make him.
Where's he? What are they going to do with Edge after he's faced the Judgment Day? Now,
I think
what's our early things?
The issue is with Edge. They never wanted him out of the Judgment Day. The only reason he's out of the Judgment Day is because Cody's injured, and they need that big baby face.
And poor decision.
Who better than Edge? But
poor decision.
It shouldn't have been Edge. Like, Edge was great for the Judgment Day, and I am kind of upset that he was the one that had to go and become the face now.
I'd like to see Edge on an IC title battle.
They won't give him a title run. He's
a title
not
battle.
having another title run in his career now. His title runs are
over. If Cody's injury would have happened 2 months later, I think Finn would have been the one that got kicked out and got injured and would be going into the face position, to be honest with you.
But I also don't see why we needed to. I actually think that Rollins could have took that position himself eventually if he.
But Rollins is currently in that thing where Rollins is I guess you could say Rollins is in his prime as a heel. You know?
Yeah,
what I mean?
Don't get me wrong. He's a great heel, but if we're going to do it, why disrupt the tag team?
Phase of like his current heel phase is probably one of the best heel moves.
And I agree.
The thing is, for the Cody stuff to have a payoff as well,
it's
Rollins
to face
needs to stay heel.
He needs to stay.
But we could also see him staying as face for a while and then turning back heel just before he comes back.
Then it just again back to Link's point now.
He needs to keep the momentum.
But either way, there is other people.
That's the issue with how there is loads of other people.
I'd love to see Edge come for a little feud there.
No,
I think that'd be quite good.
I feel like Randy could have been one of those big baby faces.
I've just seen the name it should have been. I've just seen the name it should have been. Montez Ford should have been the name it should have been. He should have been pushed as the baby face of the company, the big baby face. And given a singles run. If we're going to disrupt a tag team, I would have rather disrupt the Street Profits than Judgment Day.
Without speaking about that tag team match yet, he's acting more and more like he's going to be the one turning heel, just from how he's acting in his he's honestly having temper tantrums. He's acting like a baby, you know what I mean? That's what they're going for. You know what I mean? He's shouting at poor referees. He's
poor.
Jeff Jarrett is not poor, I'll tell you that much.
No, he used to sell gold to people that are stupid.
He also used to whack people with guitars, but
yeah, honestly,
speaking of whacking people though,
or whacking people off,
or whacking people in the
balls.
Should we go to that one?
Yeah.
Should we go to this one?
Yeah.
Pat McAfee versus Happy Corbin. Link.
Pat McAfee.
Go for it. You may talk about Pat McAfee now.
Yay! I like Pat McAfee. this was his worst match he's ever had.
It was not good. It was not good.
Flat out, this was the worst match he's ever had.
Do we think
this was the first time he faced someone that was actually bigger than him?
Yeah.
Is it because of the size difference?
Yeah.
I think that may have been probably the main factor of why this wasn't one of his best performances.
He's better against a smaller, faster person.
Yeah.
Corbin is powerful.
Yeah, I mean, he was good against Vince, and Vince isn't.
He wasn't. I don't know what match you fucking watched, but he wasn't. It was a comedic match. It was no different to the Knoxville Zane match. It made
Theory
sense.
and Adam
but
Cole, he had good matches against.
Because they're quick, and also have the physical attributes as well. Whereas Corbin's probably that sort of. He's on that line of maybe being a bit too large for him, I suppose. Because he's not even though he's the same size as him, he is bigger than Pat, and Pat's not a small bloke.
Don't get me wrong, it wasn't a bad match, but Pat's had high expectations for his matches so far.
I think that's what the issue is now with Pat McAfee. We've seen him a few times, and now we've got this expectation of him having at least the same performance each time. And
I think
the moment he slips up is like, oh, Pat, no.
Another thing we had, we got spoiled when he come into WWE. Because it was just a celebrity appearance, and he was very, very, very good compared to what we used to get from celebrity appearances.
Yeah.
Now, anyone they get in, the game's being upped every time.
His entrance was fantastic.
Yeah, that was probably the best thing about last night. Although, and again,
Bum-ass
Corbin.
I still prefer. But his Mania one was Miles Barrett.
Yeah,
his Mania one was amazing.
Oh yeah.
That was nuts. the hairs on the back of the neck for that one. That was sick. That was a sick entrance.
The choir was a great.
The choir though last night, I did enjoy it. Thomas Corbin.
And the way it kicked into his own music as well.
And Johnson, yeah. But it wasn't like a full blown version of it. It was like its own version. Who is messaging us?
Not me.
Oh, it's not you.
Chris. I reckon Chris. Let me check.
Of course it is. Yes, it
is. It's Chris!
Shout out Chris, our moderator for Facebook.
Yeah.
He's always very busy.
I thought you were saying that you had Chris Jericho in your DMs then. I was like, fair play, lads. Fair play.
What have I become? Now that I'm on TikTok.
The heel project.
Talking of Jericho.
I just watched the video that he sent us. It's actually really cool, but we'll talk about it in a bit.
Okay.
We missed out Theory's entrance well at the very genetic video.
Oh yes, that he was generic superstar number 2 or whatever it is from the.
It is literally the creator superstar entrance video from like.
Kind of spoiled that for me now. I'm kind of upset about that link. You've spoiled Theory for me, man.
Genuine thing.
Yeah, sorry about
that. If I know that I could have just created Theory back in 2K18, I would have.
He wasn't even known.
Well,
then.
his entrance music, mate.
Yeah.
It wasn't terrible. It wasn't shit. It was all right, but I just hate the fact when we finish a match with a kick to the balls or a low blow. And I just don't.
It's cheap. It's cheap and tacky.
The thing is, you called it as well.
I saw it as soon as it was lined up. It was lined up for a good minute before, and I was like, "This is gonna be a punt," because he's a punter.
And we went,
why would it not be? Pat is a punter against his old teammate. It was gonna get kicked in the bollocks.
And I mean,
we've had the build up.
It's exactly what happened on SmackDown before, anyway.
Yeah.
Baron Corbin kicked him in the bollocks. So
exactly.
You knew payback was.
And it was going to be a proper punt, so he stood until he was stood up, and it wasn't just a kick. He punted him. He punted him like he would have done a ball.
So, little note for this match was
Corbin's
Michael Cole's commentary.
Yeah.
So at one point, Corey Graves turned around to Michael Cole and said, "I liked you more when you weren't allowed to have an opinion." Michael Cole replied, "Things have changed."
Yeah. Michael Cole's he's opened up quite a bit with his commentary the last few weeks.
Well, Michael Cole's like the main commentator. Let's be honest. He's like the veteran.
He is their boss.
Yeah.
They acknowledged it last night. He is the boss of the commentary team.
They acknowledged their tribal chief, their tribal commentator.
Yeah.
But what I would say to everyone is just listen to Michael Cole's commentary a bit, because he comes out with little digs and very recently.
But
very subtle, but they're very good.
But Pat is still his best friend.
He is.
That is
that is my best
friend
in the world. Best friend in the world, right? In that ring.
I love that.
I mean,
so I do feel like it's genuine
John Cena
as well.
and JBL were his best friends as well at one point. Remember? So.
Yeah, I genuinely feel like there's a real love between the two of them.
There's a proper connection there.
Have we had Michael Cole on his podcast yet? I think
Probably not.
I think Pat.
We've had Michael Cole on this podcast.
Pat, I think this is something you need to do. You'll never see this, but Pat, you need to get have a podcast with Michael Cole.
No, he's done a podcast with Michael. He's done a podcast with Michael Cole, I think.
Has he?
Has he?
I'm pretty sure it was one of his earlier ones, I swear.
Hadn't seen it.
Maybe then. Maybe.
It was one of his early ones when he was first starting off, I think.
And then Michael Cole tried to get him fired when he first started, so that's
I remember Michael Cole
some of the best friendships
was
formed.
telling him that like he's the best commentator partner he's ever had and stuff like that.
Oh, okay. Well,
he just gives out some little love letters that he passes to him every episode.
He's just sat there giving him a handy under the table.
Well, it's the skiing. It's the skiing. That's the thing.
Yeah. But anyway, it was what it was. It wasn't the best thing we've seen from Pat. It wasn't the best thing we've seen from Corbin. We will see a better match at some point. I dare say this will probably carry on a little bit because of their history between the pair of them.
I mean,
because they like each other in real life. They are actual mates in real life, aren't they? They are actually ex-teammates. I dare say they're comfortable working with each other, and it keeps Corbin happy to be working with Pat. If he's not going to be pushed around any...
See what you did there, Dan. Happy Corbin.
I didn't even mean it, mate, by the way. Didn't even mean it. But he's just happy to be around Pat if he's not going to be around the title pictures or anything like that, I suppose.
I personally think this is it.
You think?
I don't think it'll continue.
Yeah, I think this will be it now.
I think that was the end of it. I think this was just a pay-per-view to get Pat McAfee's big SummerSlam match. Because think about it, the next pay-per-view,
multiple matches.
It's not, but they could.
The next pay-per-view is Clash at the Castle. Pat McAfee's going to go back to commentary for the next few weeks.
He's
not
not
come to Wales.
Yeah.
Like a tosser.
What a prick.
Hashtag fuck you, Pat McAfee.
Yeah.
I think you're going to see someone come up and Corbin will end up getting put over from.
Much I like Pat McAfee. Get your ass to Wales, you bastard.
I mean, it's not like we're going to hear you on commentary anyway, but you know.
But I wanted to see you dance to Nakamura's music. It was just going to play at the start whilst we were doing the pre-show, and he's just going to dance to it.
Oh, stop saying that because you make me think of Rick Boogs. I'm like, Rick Boogs is injured, man. It makes me sad.
I wouldn't even
How long has he got left?
Quite a while, I think.
Yeah,
I wouldn't mind
he got injured at Mania, didn't he?
Yeah, I think it was.
I think the point of that though is Corbin Ciampa is that I think we just want to see Ciampa against anybody.
I think
we're all massive.
Corbin's on SmackDown, so Ciampa's over on Raw, and he's currently just been attacked by AJ. So I think that's a wrong idea. So as good an idea it sounds, the both heels, it doesn't make sense.
It's that though, isn't it? Ciampa is that high for us that we all rate Ciampa. We don't care who Ciampa faces. We just want him to have a decent rivalry.
No,
Corbin don't have bad matches, so
the thing is with Ciampa that he needs either a long match so he can tell the story that way, or he needs a lot of build so that he can tell the story that way.
I think they need to bring Johnny Gargano in ASAP and just bring them rivalry onto the main roster because like those matches on NXT, those were your highlights of NXT. Let's be real for a moment.
I would
name me one rivalry on NXT that was better than Tommaso versus.
I agree. To be fair,
AJ Sami Zayn. No, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn.
AJ,
Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn didn't really last.
That was before that as well.
That was one match, and one of them went right up to as soon
as
Sami lost the title, he went right up to the main roster.
And it predated NXT, so it was a bit.
That's the thing. That's the thing normally, but when it was in that era of NXT championships, you'd lose the title and you'd just go right up.
You'd be gone. Yeah,
you'd go right up to the main roster and it's like, okay, let's breed the next world champion. All right, let's breed the next one. Oh, let's get on to the next.
My worry is if they do bring Gargano back, a lot of people that watch NXT are going to be like, it's what we've seen again, but it won't live up to what we've already seen.
I don't know. The thing is, I know what you're saying there, but they also look at it because NXT has such a small market, and it does. Like NXT has a very, very small fan base compared to the main roster. You know, you look at an NXT takeover, and they have arenas. Even their biggest arenas are only like 10, 15,000 people. You know, you put that in front of a Mania arena of nearly 100,000 people, and you're telling that whole story to another 90-odd thousand people. Like it's
90%.
Do you think if they gave NXT bigger arenas, they'd sell them out though?
Not now. Yes, they would have. I think they would have done back in Black and Gold.
I don't even think in Black and Gold they would have sold out if they had bigger arenas. I I'll be honest. I think they would have struggled to fit another couple of thousand in there.
They
Really?
didn't have the they didn't have the machine behind it, like
People,
advertising and all
I
the
feel
rest
like,
of it.
what you got to think as well with Black and Gold. When they were Black and Gold, they were directly competing with AEW. So
Not to start off with, they weren't. To be fair,
not when they started off, but like when it started getting into like the
once AEW started forming, obviously AEW weren't.
Yeah.
When they were
like
a Phoenix
it then
company,
goes to your decision: do I go to Dynamite
Phoenix
or
company.
do I go to NXT? And it was just like I don't know what I feel like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but anyway, Ciampa, give me Ciampa versus Gunther. That's what I want. Actually, I've decided now. Ciampa versus Gunther. That's what I want.
I think at Clash you're getting the tag match between Logan, AJ, Miz, and Ciampa.
We are for now.
That's what's next. Ciampa versus Gunther would be good. I mean,
we've gone way off topic though.
It happened on NXT, and that was a good match.
Can I just say, and I know Dan won't like this, but I'm going to say it anyway. I'd be so happy if AJ got taken out before that, and they just replaced him with Gargano.
Oh yeah, even better. But I just doubt that happening. Because would you really not want to see AJ at Clash at all?
Yeah, I wouldn't care.
I don't know.
To be fair, I'd be surprised if you can fly here anyway, because the Earth's flat. So
logistically, not logistically, like with relations and stuff, it'd make more sense that Gargano is on Logan Paul's side than AJ. Like Gargano does Twitch and things as well, doesn't he? And it's like he's on that sort of that content creating side of the world.
He's a nerd.
Even if it doesn't go well as them two as a duo, you can always have the Johnny heel turn and then a heel DIY.
We should have Zack Ryder and Logan Paul. There we are. That's what it is.
I would rather shit in my hands and clap.
Well, I'm sorry, mate. He's the current NWA World Heavyweight Champion, so I doubt that.
I don't watch NWA.
Logan could be the new internet champion.
He already is.
Speaking of
my
which,
heart.
Just while we're talking about indie stuff right now as well, I'd like to send our condolences to any of Ric Flair's family that now don't have Ric Flair anymore. Sorry that he died. And also, wasn't that match for Ric Flair really good last night? Yay.
Yeah.
Just in case either option.
Yeah, because it hasn't happened yet. We filmed this at 4:00 on a Sunday afternoon.
This bit can stay in. No, the match was shit.
Yeah, and this bit can stay in. It's all staying in because I'm editing it.
Ric Flair's having a match? What?
Burn in hell.
This last match. They're all going to bleed as usual. Everyone's going to get hepatitis. The first 3 rows get 3 AIDS injections at the end of the show or something like that.
Speaking of hepatitis, Jeff Jarrett... don't know, started rumours.
Well, I mean, he's in that match. So.
He is. Jeff Jarrett was then a special guest referee in a match that he didn't need to be involved in at all because he did nothing in this match. It was fucking strange. We could have easily had him in the match. He could have easily just stuck him in the Logan Paul Miz match, to be fair, as guest referee.
This match
just didn't need it. It was so bizarre.
The only reason now that there was a special guest was because Montez had a temper tantrum over the fact that his shoulder was up at Money in the Bank. I think that's the only reason I had a special, because he can't trust the actual. He's a conspiracy victim. That's what he's calling himself.
Do you know what? I'll be honest. It's quite refreshing to have a special guest referee match where the special guest referee didn't pay that much of wasn't the big
focus.
He wasn't a factor of the match.
I quite like that.
The only ever he didn't really distract anyone or anything. Like, he kept it fair. Like, he was pushing the Usos away a lot when they were doing their double team moves. The only times anyone ever argued with him was when Montez took 20,000 years to pin after a frog splash, and he was a 2 count, and then he just started having a temper tantrum and throwing a fissy fit at Jeff Jarrett, calling him names.
Yeah, gotta admit, this was the match that really had me worried for predictions.
Yeah, we will
because this was very close.
Go on, Pete. Take it away. Pete, how many did you get right out of the predictions?
How many matches were there last night?
7? Well, there was 9 predictions you could have had.
Yeah. There was 8 matches, but there were 9
I got every one of them, 100%.
That's not true because did you say Theory cashed in or was going to cash?
No, I said Theory would try and cash in, but it wouldn't happen.
Yeah, he said no. Theory cash in, no, and Theory didn't cash in. He came out to cash in, but he never actually cashed in. So yeah,
that's exactly what I said.
Pete, after this, could you send me your informant who you've got on the inside, please? I want to get in touch with him so I can get 100%.
Pete is now doing a punishment, which is going to take place live in Cardiff for Clash at the Castle, where we will be singing Christmas songs outside of what's the thing, WrestleFest, whatever it's called, in the morning.
Yeah, and upon that decision, I've decided that I'm going to actually go inside. There you go.
You chicken shit.
You coming inside and doing it? Fair play. Fair play. He's going to go inside and he's going to sing Christmas carols.
We'll do it outside.
Alone. I'll go in and film him. It's all right.
Yeah, so Pete's on recording duties, but yes,
Pete'll have to hold my hand.
Me, Link, Titch, Beyblade, Boosh, and Phil are all doing Christmas carols, and Pete gets to stand there, pissing himself laughing, and filming
Pete will
it.
Also take part. Pete will also sing.
I'm glad no one that lives anywhere near me is remotely interested in.
I'm friends with you on Facebook. I can message him and let him know.
I
know your best friend, so I'll message her.
WrestleFest UK. I was just making sure.
I know her name anyway.
What time, Pete? Is the thing you've got there got a logo? Got a times for it? Sorry, like opening doors time.
It's in the morning. That's all we know.
Carry on for a sec. I will get this.
But
I believe it's 11.
I wouldn't worry about it too much. We'll be there in the morning. If you're in Cardiff, come say hi. Come
You'll see us.
And
You'll definitely see us.
Well, we've got Link with us. You'll see
Project,
us. Like, it doesn't matter what we're dressed as. Link is hard to miss.
They start at 11, so we'll be around there.
That is 11. Yeah, okay, so we'll be there at
11.
Yeah.
Yay! I'm looking forward to that one.
We'll probably be there about 11 till 12. I think we're aiming for.
I'll be honest. This is the one I wanted to win the most since
since
the haircut one.
I think the realism
didn't even give a shit about the dog food.
We started talking about it yesterday, and the realism for me started kicking in.
I'm just, you know what? From now on, I'm just going to copy Pete's answers.
Genuinely thought Pete was going to cry when I was talking about how many songs we're actually planning on doing.
It was some kid.
He was like, "What?
Oh no!"
Yeah, we need to have content.
Anyway, back to the match.
Yeah, Usos, Street Profits. I'll be honest, I'm disappointed because this match, if you remember rightly, was really, really actually it was one of those standout ones that we actually enjoyed at Money in the Bank, and the fact that it ended with that sort of funny finish, we was actually like, oh, okay, like they're going for something different, something that we've not seen recently done intentionally. Okay, this could be good. This could be good way to carry it on. Match should be good. I don't know if it hit my expectations. I'll be honest.
And then SummerSlam came,
and it just didn't. Like my expectations were here. Yeah. Like the floor is here, but they were probably only about here.
I would have made one change that would have made this match so much better.
What, you'd have changed it from Street Profits to the Viking Raiders?
I would have made it a 2 out of 3 falls.
No, I don't even think that would have been.
No, I think it would have been good. I would think it would have been good. We would have evened it up.
No, but Pete, here's the thing though. Like,
I'd have added a third team and a ladder.
Usos tag matches
and got rid of Jeff
so
Jarrett.
Predictable now. Like,
I'd have kept them.
They kick out of the Uso splash and then they hit them with a 1D and then it's over. That's how an Uso tag match works now.
Yeah.
Like their old finisher doesn't mean jack shit anymore, but their new finisher's like overpowered, essentially. But the only way to make that match better was just took another tag team in there. But I think we all know what's going to happen. Montez is clearly going to be the big heel.
I think we're getting it. I think we're going to get a lot of match out clash.
Montez is just trying. I really hope there's not enough
between them two.
By the way.
Wow, that would be big. I would be okay with that for Clash.
Possibly throwing the New Day in there. Or the Viking Raiders.
Just any tag team link, to be honest.
I'd be quite happy for it to be a 4-man team, or 4-team event.
Viking Raiders, New Day, Street Profits, Usos. That'd be a great match, especially if it was a ladder, maybe.
Yeah, throw a ladder in there, make it a big multi-man match. I think that'd be fucking awesome. But
TLC
I guess we'll
match.
see. I don't even think it needs the LC.
It just needs
the
to be a ladder
TLC.
match.
It just needs the ladder.
Because let's be honest, a ladder match is just similar to a TLC match.
Well, yeah, because no DQ regardless.
Chairs, yeah. Like, you could just still go and grab a table or a chair if you wanted to.
No.
Throw Pete Dunne and Butch in there. Throw Butch and thing in there as well.
No, tag team. They're not. They're
Rich Holland. You
Rich
did
Holland
say
and
Pete
Butch.
Dunne and Butch.
Yeah, no, I was thinking that.
We just
Throw Rich Holland.
So
Throw Rich Holland and Butch in there.
Are we just having every tag? We just want every tag team split.
Well,
Every tag team that exists in there. Yeah.
You've got the Pete Dunne pop.
Yeah. Let's just put Sheamus and fucking.
a
Drew
20-man
Pete's
ladder
idea
match.
is
I'd be okay with that.
Pete's master idea is just a 20-man tag team back Royal Rumble, winner takes all.
No, 20-man ladder match.
So 10 teams.
But so 10 teams, but with the only one of the tag teams championships on the line. So let's split that up. Let's split it up. But then let's make it actually fucking big. So, but with the Usos still in it. With the Usos still in it.
I'm fine with what you're saying there. So there's only one on the line. But what about if they have them both on the line, but in two separate places?
Ooh.
So there's basically two matches going on all at once.
So that's the way to split them. So Usos can grab one, and then the other ones can grab the other one.
That would be a great one. And that was actually a question that I was going to ask today. Like, what do you think under new management will they split the belts, or are they going to keep it undisputed?
They'll split the tags. I think we might end up with a undisputed Universal Champion, WWE Universal Champion for a while, but the tags will split. The tags will split. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if the tags split at Survivor Series or by Survivor Series.
I don't think the tag team division is big enough to have two separate tag team titles again.
I think it could be though. That's the thing, and
it
won't
have
take
been
long.
big enough. It could have been big enough because they could have just not split up a bunch of tag teams, and then we would have. I can only name
5 proper tag teams right now.
That are in contention for a title. Yeah,
don't even exist. 5.
Well,
New Day, Viking
Alpha
Raiders.
Academy, New Day, Viking Raiders, Street Profits.
But then you can put in Mysterio. You could throw in the Mysterios and Judgment Day.
There's still a tag team though, so that's the 5th.
You can still throw in Mysterios and Judgment Day as well. Don't forget.
Mysterios.
7.
And then we could argue Miz and Ciampa.
I'm not arguing that.
No, but you could do. It wouldn't take a lot.
They're not a tag team.
It wouldn't take a lot to make them a tag team if that's what they're going to do. Even if it wouldn't take a lot.
But they haven't had one tag match yet, so it's not.
We could have. We could definitely count Gunther and Ludwig.
Gunther and Ludwig Imperium.
Have they had a tag match?
No, but they definitely could be, and people. It would make sense.
No,
it would make so much sense.
They've been in the stable long enough to.
No, but they did have a tag match on SmackDown, didn't they?
Did they?
They had a tag match. I swear against Shinsuke and someone.
Okay,
I think you're right.
But they definitely
Ludwig took the pin, which is why Gunther beat the shit out of him. Yes.
But even if we said
just
4
bring
and 4
back
and 4,
Jinder and Shanky.
Yeah,
Jinder and Shanky.
There you are.
Shanky.
Yeah.
They split up. Split up, Link.
No, they didn't.
They did because literally when the Viking Raiders came back, Jinder left Shanky with New Day, so started dancing, and then the Viking Raiders attacked him.
Yeah, but then they were back. The Jinder was back with Shanky the following week and helped him attack and came out when the New Day blew the horns. Shanky and fucking Jinder jumped the Viking Raiders on the way to the ring.
Well, go Shanky.
Yeah, they're back together.
But
they never actually split.
I think the roster's big enough, and then it wouldn't take a lot if I'm saying by Survivor Series at latest. That's November. I definitely think they'll split them.
And you can also think they might call up a couple of NXT tag teams.
Yeah.
Like they've got some good tag teams down there in NXT.
I think we'll end up complaining about seeing the same matches every other week though. Very quickly.
But they just because it's the same competitors doesn't mean it needs to be the same match as such.
Yeah.
Like mix it up. Make sure that they're different
things at the minute.
Don't make it the same finishes. Don't make it so it's the same results. It's easy to mix it up.
Yeah, I think. Do you know what my biggest worry is about the whole changeover between Vince and now Trips being in charge? My biggest worry is, do you remember back in the Attitude Era? And everything was just so chaotic, but it all made sense. It all kind of dripped into each other. Vince,
is that what you're thinking this is going to be like?
No. Triple H never learned that style of booking. Because that had ended by the time Triple H got to a point where he was learning the bookings.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that style of booking now has no way of ever coming back.
Well,
unless they try and
I'll be
recreate
honest,
it
we
themselves.
are talking about the Attitude Era, and we knew Attitude Era's never like they're in the You're in the PG era, mate. I mean, they've gone up. What,
Well, we're not. We're not. We're in the
PG era's
14 era.
gone.
PG era's gone.
14 era, but that's on.
It's not much different, is it?
What's that difference? You can say a couple of swear words now. Like, come on, mate.
Especially with this
woke.
That's all the Attitude Era was.
But now we live in a woke culture and all this cancel culture.
We're in a different world than we were all those years ago.
It's going to be a very different.
Like I'm not expecting fucking bra and panties matches and blood and guts and fucking chopping each other's cocks off and shit again. But
sucking each other's cocks off, did you just say?
No,
chopping each other's cocks.
Then I'm fucking lost interest all of a sudden.
Choppy pee. Remember? Yeah, never mind. Fucking and random racism, obviously, you know.
I'm not going to say anything about that. Yeah. We don't need that. It's fine.
Moving on.
But anyway, it could be chaotic. It could be still, in my opinion, the bookings of chaoticness and just what the fuck's going to happen next. But I think that's what we need. I do think that's what WWE needs.
I mean, I think a lot of us are expecting, you know, the Triple H boys. You know, it's their time to shine now. Like, you know. Everyone who was down in that NXT, your Tommasos, your Johnnies, your Kevin Owens.
Give me Kevin Owens as world champion by this time next year. Oh my fucking god!
Mate, I would love a Kevin Owens championship.
Give me Kevin Owens.
But he's not going to be the one to beat Roman. This is what the main issue is with Roman Reigns. Who on the roster is actually going to beat him? Who on the roster beats him?
Well, hang on, we ain't got there yet. Brock Lesnar might beat him last night.
Yeah, Brock Lesnar beat him.
He could have well beaten him.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Brock Lesnar beat him.
One more before that, anyway. Liv Morgan, Ronda Rousey.
Sorry, this happened.
None of us were bothered by this match. None of us were particularly bothered since.
I think was this the match?
The outfits.
The outfits was interesting.
The match that was affected, Link.
And it ended early because it was affected by the time limits.
Right. I'm not going to be fussed that, like, because, mate, let's be honest, that match was.
Yeah, this was the match that was sped up and ended sooner than it was supposed to because
we were supposed to have another 10 minutes.
The Logan match earlier on.
10 minutes of Ronda. Oh, well, you know what?
But it would have meant 10 more minutes of potential wardrobe malfunctions.
Decisions last night.
So. But yeah, I mean, so Liv won. But she won by pinning Ronda in a weird way.
Pinned her, but she tapped as the pin count was happening, so it didn't count as a submission because the pin was already underway. Yep. So
we're not gonna end here with Ronda Liv. That's gonna carry on.
And then I'm dreading she's coming to Cardiff. She is coming to Ronda.
It can't end there. Like Ronda turned heel.
That's what I'm saying. It's
Ronda, no, she's going to be suspended. She attacked a bunch of officials after the match.
She will be, but it's going to be an excuse for her to not appear between now and Cardiff. I'm afraid.
But you know what? I thank God that we're not seeing Ronda at Cardiff.
We are. She's one of the main. Yeah. She's one of the main ones. I know they could say subject to change, but she's one of the names that they pushed straight away to be at Cardiff.
I mean, with this Ronda thing, it's not going anywhere. We'll see. I guess we'll see in the next couple of weeks whether and how long she's going to be fined and suspended for, I suppose.
If she gets fined or suspended.
Yeah.
Like, it's not
I think you're not going to see her until
we here's the thing, though, with, like, Adam Pearce. He's done a lot of suspending and stuff like that for exactly the same. He's done it to Ronda before, I think, as well. Mm-hmm. So it wouldn't shock me if he does it.
Oh, well, he's got to
That's her get out of Cardiff jail card.
We missed something.
What did we miss?
The riddle.
Let's
riddle segment, right? Yeah.
The what segment? I think that is it. Yeah, we can do the riddle segment. I did forget it was there. We can do it now.
I think you'll just see Ronda, not in a match or anything, not even come down the ramp, just end up just turning up at Cardiff, jumping a barrier or something.
I don't even.
And just coming attacking Liv.
I don't even think that. I think she'll be on the next couple of shows, maybe, just, being the heel, saying, she's always hated us, the universe, we're cunts, and that, like she did last time.
She's always hated us, the cunts, and that. What?
Well, that's what she said last time, wasn't it, when she turned heel? She was like, you guys are
in
cunts.
those exact words.
Yeah. I remember Ronda Rousey calling me a cunt. That was nice.
To be fair, you've said worse.
About her, yeah.
Yeah.
So. She doesn't know how to hold a belt the right way.
And that's enough for Ronda Rousey for one day, I think. We will jump back because this happened before the match. I did forget it was a segment, so well remembered link. But Riddle came out calling out Seth Rollins, basically telling everyone he wasn't injured.
Security were having a go at him.
Without
like, get out of there. And
he
was
like, no!
Did you hear him go,
shut up,
bro?
Shut up,
bro.
And we've had...
No, he said that he was. He said that he wasn't medically cleared, so he didn't say that he was.
No, but the fact he then fought him still sort of shows that he is medically cleared, because otherwise it wouldn't happen.
And then he got
a kayfabe story.
Yeah.
It's a kayfabe industry. We know this.
Then Seth Rollins came out in Becky Lynch's attire,
which Link called at the start of the night. He said that Seth would come out. Yeah, Seth came out with matching attire to Becky.
How over is Seth Rollins?
As a heel,
not as over as you think he is.
No,
the crowd would
when it's time for Riddle versus Seth in Cardiff, because that's what the match is going to be in Cardiff. Riddle versus Seth.
I think so.
He is going to be over as hell in Cardiff because we're all going to be there singing his theme or doing his theme.
He was getting carried away. The crowd were going nuts.
That's Nakamura.
Just singing along to his music.
Like, Seth is really over, which is why I'd probably say he's kind of in his Roman as like his best heel phase.
What is that feedback
nice.
I'm getting?
I don't know. I can hear it as well.
It's
stopped now.
Was you watching something, Link?
Yeah.
Link.
It's back.
It's Beyblade.
It is.
Is it?
It's Beyblade.
No, I can hear it.
Oh.
I can't hear it.
It's Link.
It's Link.
It's Link. It's Link.
Yeah,
I'm not doing anything. How can it be me?
Oh, your mic. As soon as your mic went on it, come on then.
It's gone now. It's gone now. It's gone now. Talk, Link.
Hello.
That was weird.
I'm sat still. I've no idea.
It's gone again.
Literally.
The mystery of the broken mic.
Every time your mic come on, it went.
Anyway, I guess, chat. I think I'm gonna leave that in because that was the weirdest thing. Comments, let us know what on earth the fuck that was. What we reckon that was that.
Let's get your theories in there for Theory Thursday.
Was Vince McMahon trying to talk to us and let us know that he's not really
dead.
retiring? I didn't say he was. Hang on. What the fuck?
It was Macho Man coming to talk to us from beyond the grave to tell us that he would shag the new CEO.
Okay, he was telling us about a cow. He's telling us what he said to that cow to make it go moo. That's what he was doing.
Anyway, we're getting Rollins versus Riddle at Clash at the Castle. Main event time. Speaking of cows, our cowboy Brock Lesnar turned up with a fucking tractor.
Big old country boy.
Yeah, he called himself big old country boy.
With a tractor.
I'm just a
we knew something because it was like, hold on, Roman's coming out first. Something's not right.
It's weird.
Where the fuck did the tractor come from?
It was in that little section that I spotted right from the very beginning.
That was definitely what they were doing while Drew was doing that promo segment before. Was it?
Well, no, it wasn't because Roman walked out before that, and it wasn't there when Roman walked past that area.
I can't remember where we.
No,
saw,
but I assume during
Roman,
that Drew promo they were getting it ready to bring it out. Then, and as soon as Roman got past it, then they brought it out for Brock.
Did we actually see Roman walk out? You know, because obviously Bobby we had appear on his plinth. On the corner, halfway
around the road.
Did we see that with Roman?
Because the Usos came out.
Okay, the Usos came out and then walked back.
Because then, like, he does the whole thing
where
he's
the tractor underneath like a black tarp the entire time?
Do you remember us saying that Roman was taking in ages to walk to the ring?
Yeah, he did the.
That's why
he did the Undertaker entrance, I believe. We called it.
Yeah, so I mean, I think what they've done is, do you know where the Titantron screen was as such? I reckon that came back and they brought the tractor out from there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because there was nowhere else, because it was surrounded by crowd everywhere else, so there was nowhere else it could have come from.
But hey, Brock Lesnar brought out a tractor, and Roman got put in the tractor.
I don't even know where to begin with this match. This match was.
It was a wild brawl. It was better than I think that WrestleMania match they had. It's probably one of the best matches they've had.
I was about to ask for this annual year of 2022. Is it your favourite match so far?
No.
I wouldn't say it's my favourite match of the year, but it was my favourite Roman Brock match of the year.
I enjoyed this madness of what the fuck is going on. Why is there a tractor?
There were a couple of iffy moments in the match.
The fact he drove in and we thought maybe, it looks like for a second that he wasn't even going to get the tractor involved. He was just going to park it up for that spot for him to jump onto his hydraulics, jump onto the bucket and just stand there. That was a fucking cool moment. That was a cool moment.
I'll be honest. Go on, sorry.
There was only one spot I didn't like in the whole thing.
The bucket.
And they was even using half-broken tables as smash up. Brilliant. It was when they put him in the actual digger and then he rolled him out. And that was the only moment. Otherwise, we all were thinking, that's going to really hurt. That's going to be sick. And we were all like,
and then we were like, just went, and like you saw it lower a bit, and then it went, and it was just like, I was like, I could have made that drop and not be hurt.
And we all went, and then Brock made the exact same face of, that was shit.
Yeah, Brock was just like, well, that's shit. I'm going to go F5 his ass.
Yeah.
Got in the ring.
That was the only bit I didn't love in this whole match.
But I kind of like that because Brock showed the same sort of thought process as we all did. Just watching it.
So what he did was instead, 10 minutes later.
It's realistic.
10 minutes later.
So I did like that spot for that moment though. Just of Brock's disappointment of it as well. I think the only negative thing was when they were trying to get over the barricade and they had their little misstep in that.
It happens.
I'm a Brock fan. My issue with this match, and I do have an issue with this match because I enjoyed most of it. In fact, I enjoyed all of it. But my issue with this match was the end. So they made Brock look very strong because he kept getting back up. But also,
they never lifted a ring link with a tractor.
That was a tractor. It doesn't make it strong.
That was hydraulics,
but it was the fact that Brock never got any offense again for quite a long period at the end of the match, and it was just sustained beating of Brock.
That was kind of what it is throughout the whole match, though, because you had this moment where Brock dominated for the entire match, and Roman got in no offense. Then you had when Roman was dominating and got.
You're right, but normally towards the end. But normally towards the end of a match, in most traditional matches, so this is where it came away from the traditional sort of match rule set. In most traditional matches, towards the end, you'll have that one moment where someone looks like they're about to get, and you'll get the key deciding moment, and that'll be it, the end of the match.
But I will add, this wasn't a regular match, though. Don't forget.
If it makes you feel better, Link, Paul Heyman died in that match. If it makes
Paul Heyman did die in that match, and that doesn't make me feel better.
He was F5'd and he was killed through the announce table. We also had Theory run down and hit Roman in the head for no reason, just to be F5'd by Brock Lesnar. And then Roman picked up the briefcase later and just whacked him with it.
Yeah, he hadn't even got up, had he? He just smacked him with him again.
Theory was getting back up, and Roman just saw him and was just like.
The thing is, they made Brock look so strong because the only way they could beat him was by Roman and the Usos.
And technically Theory, because Theory kind of distracted him, which then...
In my opinion...
about it, Brock had all the offense until Theory came down.
I think I'm leaning with where Pete's going with this, is that this was the perfect ending for a last man standing match. Yeah. It made Roman look really strong, which obviously you want. Roman's going to be the champion. And anybody else would have obviously been long beaten before that. But you also want Brock Lesnar, because we said at the start that maybe this could be his last match ever. I don't think it is now.
I don't think it is now.
No, but the fact they've made him look so strong shows that it's not, which is great. It means that you've got Brock that come back and you still have this who's actually going to win this one? Because when we did our predictions, we all thought Roman, but there was still a bit of this at the back of everyone's mind. But Brock could win here. Brock could win. You did say Theory cash in, but that was because
convinced Theory was going to cash in because I was convinced. I was convinced that Drew was going to become champion by Clash of Castle. I was convinced he's going to be not the hometown hero because he's not from fucking Wales, but
I'm glad he's not for the record.
Do you know what? Though? At the beginning, and I even thought it. So many people in our chat going, "Here we go," and I've in other chats, Brock Roman again. How many times are we going to see this? This was the best one we've seen out of them two, I think.
I have.
It was 100%. So mad.
I have a closing question for when you're ready.
For this match? Well, this
is the whole podcast.
Okay. But Yeah, for me, this is what you need. Lesnar, he might take a break away now because we've obviously got Roman, Drew next, and then maybe anything else that goes on there. Brock might not come back for a little while. He'll go off and take his tractor home with him and go and play with it in a field.
I don't think we'll see him at Clash.
But
no, he's not.
Brock is still that beast that we want, even though he's 45, and potentially we are looking at he is starting to probably look at seeing out his career soon. But he was made to look like a monster.
The thing with
match.
Brock Lesnar, Dan. The thing with Brock Lesnar is that you just always have that feeling that he's probably got another one. Like he's always got another title.
He's good Goldberg, mate.
Brock Lesnar. Like,
I was about to say, this is what I said last night.
Got it in him. Like
when we said about Brock having his last match, I said I don't think it'll be his last match, but I think he'll get brought back every now and again as a pop moment, and he'll be the Goldberg now.
I mean,
I think so.
If you remember when he was on the Pat McAfee show as well, he said that he was feeling good and like he doesn't need to like stop at any point.
I just think those as and when they need that big pop, that big moment, they'll bring out Brock Lesnar.
He'll be like that. Yeah, I think he'll be the never say never.
He'll always get a better pop than Goldberg.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Like, it's Brock Lesnar.
But was this for everyone the match of the night?
I'd say this was match of the night.
Gotta be on it. Gotta be. And for me, we all said 5 minutes into this match that we were all flagging.
Yeah, I was knackered.
It changed.
We were all buzzing by it.
I think what made us tired is because we were all excited for the entire pay-per-view and like our excitement.
See, a lot of us were worried about it because on paper it looked a bit underwhelming for a SummerSlam, and for me, I think it actually fitted the SummerSlam title and history of it. That it was good. It was good enough to be considered a classic SummerSlam.
I think the only thing that was shocking about SummerSlam.
Sorry, go on.
No,
you go. Mine's not about SummerSlam.
I was saying that the only shocking thing for me about SummerSlam was probably the capacity. That was the most shocking thing about the night for me. The capacity.
I remember you picking up.
Quite glad that I let you go first there.
I remember you picking up at one point, Dan, saying, how funny would it be if Brock tries to move this ring with this tractor and then goes to move it and then proceeds to pick it up?
Yeah.
And you just
actually
so dangerous. So dangerous.
Mental, yeah.
Mate, did you see the ref just bail instantly? I loved it when
Roman
that ref
was in it.
bailed.
Yeah, Roman was in it. The ref fell out. The second it was touched, the ref's like, no, I'm out of this. I'm not going to fall over. I'm just going to get out and stand there and watch it happen.
One thing that did confuse me in this match was when Theory came out, why did he bring another referee with him? Why did he bring
in case the first ref was dead.
Yeah.
They always come down with another
ref.
They
always do. That's quite common.
I know, but it's just confusing me. I'm like, that ref's perfectly fine. He's standing.
Because normally the ref's out.
And the ref's already part of the plan, though. So he has to get a ref.
Doing the 10 count because Brock was down.
I get it, because it's supposed to be like this. All right, he's gone and told the ref the plan that he's going to go and cash in. That sort of symbolises that he's not just there to attack them, he's there to cash in. It's just symbolic, isn't it, the ref?
One last question before Link goes. What are the odds on Theory cashing in on Clash?
No.
Anyone think that's a possibility?
No. You're not going to
I'd say it's a possibility.
I think it's less... It's obviously a possibility. I think the chances are less than what they were for Slam, in my opinion.
I'll be honest, I quite like it at Clash.
I don't know why, but I feel like this is going to be a gimmick with Austin of like he continuously tries to cash in, but someone's going to take him out just before he gets.
I'd be very happy to see Drew beat Roman and with the immediate cash in of Theory to actually win the belt.
Yeah,
I think Theory.
Just that Drew doesn't get a title run, and we don't get that. Drew McIntyre, a Scottish man holding up a belt in Wales, going, "The hometown hero wins."
Oh, yeah, I don't want to.
At least we won't hear that.
Because you know Michael Cole or fucking.
And I'm going to flat out tell you right now, as soon as Drew's in the ring, I'm just going to sit there and chant, "We're not Scottish" the entire fucking match.
I think we need Theory to have this briefcase for a while as part of his gimmick. I think it works for him. He did already.
He does need to not be generic superstar A.
I mean,
he's been using the briefcase quite a lot.
First of all, drop that fucking sword.
Drop that sword. Shut that door. Drop that sword.
Right.
Yeah, go on, Link.
Clash.
Yes.
We should talk about Clash before I ask my question for the day. As you all know, we're going to Clash in 5 weeks.
Are we?
Less than 5 weeks. All of us here, all 5 of us.
Are we?
And 2 people that joined us last night, and another
3 or 4,
3 people on top of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
at least 3 people on top of that. We're all going to Clash. Yeah, so we will all be there. If you do see us and you know us from our wonderful podcasts, say hello. We're not horrible. We're not vicious.
Link likes to give out hugs. He's a hugger.
I am a hugger, actually.
If you like hugs from big sweaty men like Vince McMahon does, then Link is the man for you.
Yeah, just do me a favour.
Boosh likes a hug.
Sweaty man.
Boosh does like a hug.
Boosh does, actually. It's his power move. He'll shake the hand, pull him in for a hug. It's his power move, apparently.
Yeah, Boosh is a hugger. Probably why me and Boosh get on so well.
Yeah.
We are going to do a lot.
I thought you were leaving something then, Link.
We're going to be around a lot that weekend. Please come and say hello to us. Please come and see us. We have stuff we'll be giving out. We have stuff that we will be talking to you all about while we're there. We will be live several times on our Twitch. We will be posting videos on our YouTube. We'll be blogging for the entire weekend, so there'll be plenty of content coming from that. There's so much content coming in the next few weeks. Like, we are also, manic. For those that don't know, we are also currently building a GTA server, which will be coming out at some point around September time. We haven't got a confirmed date yet.
Expect an announcement in about 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks time.
About that, yeah. There is a lot. There is a lot going on with us at the moment as a whole, and it's a very exciting time, if I'm honest. We've got so much coming up and so much that's going to be coming up. I think you guys are really going to enjoy being with us on this ride. So thank you very much for everyone for watching. Please stick with us. And my final question for anyone that hasn't figured it out yet is, when are WWE going to drop the toy of the toy tractor to Brock Lesnar?
Oh, for fuck's sake, no.
Tomorrow.
Do we reckon it's coming out for Raw tomorrow, or do we reckon they're going to wait for a little while?
I had a message this morning about a Universal top this morning already.
It's going to be a Clash Smith's exclusive for Clash.
Smith's exclusive for Clash.
That's a good show. Yeah, so with the SummerSlam Universal Champion Roman Reigns shirt is already out, so it won't be long for the toy tractor.
Did you just say a toy that was for SummerSlam is going to be exclusive for Clash?
Well, it wasn't for SummerSlam, was it? It's just that Brock Lesnar has a tractor.
If anything, it'll be one of those exclusive, like Walmart or whatever the Target place.
He said Smiths.
He said Smiths.
Yeah.
I know, but I'm just saying what it will be.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say there's not going to be one. There we are.
That's brave. They definitely will be one.
Remember when they had the ambulance before the actual ambulance?
No. They redid the ambulance again, didn't they? And then they redid the car again as well, so that they could do it. And if you remember, they brought out the motorbike before the motorbike. No, the quad bike and the motorbike. They both brought those out before it happened.
They've learned their lesson now.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, on that note, let us know in the comments whether you think a Brock Lesnar tractor is coming to a store near you, and we will catch you in the next one.
Next time on the Heel Project.
Peace. Scissor me, daddy.
I don't want to.
I'm very.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot! Rock, paper, scissors, shoot!
None of you ever watched AEW, for fuck's sake.